Hello everybody, Sil here, and welcome back to the Darkest YouTube Estate. We have picked up Littlefinger and Quasimodo, and we are on our next expedition. So we are in desperate need of deeds, so we will find a quest that has rewards deeds. No, we will not. Oh Jesus, level 6. Everyone's a little too low level for that. None of these are offering deeds as a reward. However, this one is offering a plus 15% virtue. So we... Oh, that's the boss. Yeah, no. We're not doing that till I have a few people at level 2. What's this? Common plus 30% blood resist. That's not bad. What's this? Arbalist plus 1% crit. It is a portrait. You know what? We're kind of low on busts. Wasn't there a bust one? Oh, it's the boss again. Son of a bitch. 3,000, 3,000. They're all going to be 3,000, aren't they? You piece of shit. I guess we'll go here. It's just a short mission, though. I kind of want to do a medium. Oh, they're all short. Alright, I guess we will do this one. We're going to change up our lineup a bit. We want to get Littlefinger in here. We want to get rid of this guy. We want to bring Sophrenia. We want to bring Quasimodo. And Silk. That should be fine. We're gonna pick up some food. 12 should be enough for a short. 2 shovels. Let's pick up 4 keys. And 10 torches. Yeah, that'll be more than enough. Alright, we're back. So after the last mission, where everything sort of went okay, we never needed to change our abomination, things went good. We still do not have an occult class character, which means I still don't have a good healer to go with my A-bomb, which sucks. We still don't have a man-at-arms. We don't have a beastmaster. I don't know what an antiquarian is. That was added in after the last time I've played. So let's explore. Explore 90% of the rooms, and it has the worst layout for exploring 90% of the rooms. So I hate this. I also hate that I can't, like, drag the map. So we're gonna go this way, over to here, up, and then... Nah, we shouldn't. We shouldn't do that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We're gonna have to. See, I hate these stupid layouts for exploring, because it's basically dictating the fact that I'm going to need to use all, if not more than all of my food. And it's just like, I don't like risking it. Ooh, shit. We have a madman. He does crazy things with stress. So we're gonna try and DPS this guy down. Shit. Yeah, he does debuffs. Plus 10% stress until camp. And we will not be camping as this is a short mission. There we go. We're gonna withstand. It's gonna give him a little bit of stress relief and give him a lot of protection. So we're going to dazzle like this person. If we can stun him, alright, he's dead.
Is struck. A blazing star is born.
That's very good for us. Because it basically means he's not going to get to act again.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
We're getting grape shot. Ugh, stress. She's gonna heal the party. Look at that. See, I told you, that AoE heal starts off being very useless.
Continue the onslaught.
But once you
Destroy
actually level the
them
skill up a few times at the guild, holy snap, does it just have the chance of doing mass heals to the whole party, which is very good. So he's going to reduce her stress a bit and give her a plus 10 stress breath. So basically she's at like equilibrium now. She's getting stressed at the normal rate.
Press this
I
advantage.
love
no quarter.
lepers. We're doing that to give Silk our buff. And now we're gonna go for the slice off. Unfortunately, he does a lot of bleed, so being in the undead area isn't the best for him, as they can't bleed. We're gonna heal, because there's no reason not to. He's already spent his action this turn. Let's Strand just to get his stress down a bit. Especially since he has the buffed pistol shot, but he missed.
Their formation is broken.
Thank you, Littlefinger.
Maintain the offensive.
Littlefinger will touch this. Ah, shit. It's alright. I still think that was worth it. Littlefinger. Oh, well. See,
Will find
the funny
no
thing is,
clemency
I
in this
really
place.
dislike the character of Littlefinger. Which, if you don't know, is from A Song of Fire and Ice, or the Game of Thrones TV show. If you know the show and not the book, which is fair.
As the light gains purchase,
I can guarantee you the show is far
spirits
more
are lifted,
popular than the book is.
and purpose
Though
is
I'm
made
sure
clear.
the book has gotten more popular since the show. I very much dislike Littlefinger. He would be.
Fear and frailty finally
I
claim
feel
their
the
due.
character is a little bit too godlike in the books. To put that into perspective, it's revealed in like the 4th book that he's
Wealth beyond
basically
measure,
the guy behind
awarded to the
everything.
brave and the
whole
foolhardy
events
alike.
of the series that you've read up until this point have been entirely because of his actions. And he'll admit that he didn't have the omnipotence to guess that they would all happen, but he's totally fine with it. And it's just like, dude, you shouldn't write someone into your book who's that omnipotent. Unless
Back
it's the
to the
narrator,
pit.
or you're actually writing a god. In my opinion.
As
But
the
I'm not
fiend
published, so
falls,
what the fuck do I know? George
faint
R. R.
hope
Martin, you do you,
blossoms.
baby. We love you, Santa Claus. We're gonna try and stress relief himself. Pow pow! Not your miss? Ah, dick. It's alright. He can take it to heal the party. Look at that. 3s across the board. See, that's a good amount of healing. We'll withstand, get his protection up by 25%, and remove some stress. But yeah, I'm not disparaging the books. Like, I've read A Song of Fire and Ice. I enjoyed the books. Are they
These
books I'm going
nightmarish
to read
creatures can be
repeatedly,
felled.
like,
They
say,
can
David
be
Eddings?
beaten.
Probably not. Just because I remember them too well. Like, the thing with me is I have a really bizarre sort of memory. Once I read something once, I can sort of commit it to memory most of the time. And I would remember every general thing that happens as I'm reading it. And I would just want to skip chapters that are boring or dull, and I wouldn't be giving the book justice. Will you shut up? But,
Begone,
I do
fiend.
reread a lot of books. Not every book. The David Eddings books I reread often. The Belgarian, the Malorian, the Elenium, the Tamaruli? I don't, my mind isn't too focused. I'm playing the game. I remember a lot of things about those books. But the thing is the characters are so endearing that every time I read my way through it, I find something else to fall in love with. And I think that's a really good sign of quality in Eddings' work. May he and his wife rest in peace. Not only me wrong, there are problems with David Eddings' literature. For example, he writes very samey characters, which is annoying. It just straight up is. There's no way around it. He writes characters who act the same as one another always, but in different books, in different worlds. Like the Belgarian, there's a character in the Belgarian named Durnick who acts a lot like a mixture of two characters from the Elenium, Sparhawk and Keurig. He's basically like if those two men were the same, like were one character. And it's just very obvious that he's both of those characters sort of mushed together. And yeah, that for a lot of people that would be very annoying.
Brought low and driven into the mud.
My whole thing is that I find the character itself to be so endearing that I don't care if I'm seeing the character more than once. But yeah, I'll admit David Eddings has some issues with diversity in his characters in terms of from book to book, from series to series, there's often a lot of the same characters. And to be fair to George R. R. Martin, the characters in his book are very different, very diverse. They're awesome. My favorite is Davos Seaworth, I think his name is, the Onion Knight. He's an amazing character in the book. He's an absolute delight to read.
Handsome reward.
He's awesome.
Performed.
There are a few other characters in the Song of Fire and Ice that were just amazing. Arya, the Mountain, even like those, not the Mountain, the Hound, the one who gets a little creepy with both Arya and Sansa. They're great, but then because each chapter of A Song of Fire and Ice is from the perspective of a different character, which is an interesting way to do the story. And with as many characters as he has, it's fine. This is actually really good for us, because he's going to be able to use his finisher and jump right back in the line. Back to Song of Fire and Ice. Sometimes you get stuck with a character you just don't like. And for me, that was Sansa. It's not that I dislike the character of Sansa in the book. She serves her purpose and she acts the way the character should act. It's just the story around her is very slow, if that makes sense. And it sometimes feels like a chore to read. And people will say, well, if it feels like a chore to read, it can't be good writing. That's not accurate. It's very subjective to me that I feel that her chapters just aren't fulfilling as a reader. I don't think that Sansa is a bad character. I don't think that her story shouldn't have been told. Actually, like, that's very important. I think her chapters are very important to the story of A Song of Fire and Ice, because they set up a lot of other characters' chapters. We wouldn't know half of what we know about Littlefinger if it wasn't for the Sansa chapters. We wouldn't respect Tyrion nearly as much if we didn't know that he refused to sleep with her after they were forced to get married until she was comfortable enough with him to do so. which never happened. They never consummated their marriage, as far as I recall. It has been a while. I read them a few years back when I was in university working. But yeah, like, there are characters, there are writings from all sorts of authors who no. If we put a torch, there was a trap there I could have disarmed, and I just flat up did it. If we put a torch in here, it'll open a portal for us to go fight an eldritch monster, and I've never done that before successfully, and I kind of don't want to try right now.
The light, the promise of safety.
Another author I absolutely love
Packs laden with
is
loot are often low on
Salvatore.
supplies.
Alright, Salvatore, the Saga of Dritz, the clerical quoted? I'm actually looking around my room trying to find my copy. Speaking of which, where the fuck is my copy? Oh well. We'll push that aside. They're very different sort of writers. And I like to think that in my own personal writing, which is what I do when I'm not playing video games, I write. I'm trying to make a career out of it. I'm almost 400 pages into my novel. I've been writing. I was writing 6 pages a day. I haven't wrote in less than 10 pages a day all week. And yesterday I actually wrote 12 pages, which I mean, for some authors maybe that's nothing, but for me, I mean, oh shit, I thought that was the AoE heal. I don't know about for some authors, but for me, writing 12 pages is kind of a lot. Don't you dare stress her out to the point where she fucking breaks again. But no, I love Salvatore. I love The Legend of Dritz. Prefer the early stuff. Once you start getting past the Orc King, the writing feels a little different.
Another one falls.
Especially when it opens with like
Remind yourself that
a flash forward. Like the story will open where a character is looking back on years past, and the story itself is us visiting like a memory
The
from
great
past.
ruins belong
That's an
to
interesting writing
and
style.
we will find whatever
It
secrets
sort of
they hold.
robs some of the tension. It's like releasing the Hobbit films after the Lord of the Rings has been out, right? You can go into the movie, but you know, at the end of the day, Bilbo's gonna be fine. Well, relatively speaking, right? You know that's going to happen. Faded. That's actually really good for him because these guys miss a lot. Their accuracy is awful. And as I was saying, in my own writing,
All my life,
I feel that
an
I've sort of
insistent gnawing
become
in the back
a
of my
bastard.
mind.
And a
It was a yearning, a thirst for discovery
and a
that could be neither numbed nor sated.
I know the word. For some reason, I can't pronounce the word. We'll leave it alone. I feel like I'm a mixture of Eddings and Salvatore. With Eddings, I love Eddings. I do. With Eddings, you have these brilliant characters who have these awesome little dialogues, and they're full of spunk, and you know you love a character when the characters start interacting with each other. They're good, right? But then you have but the thing with if I could get my words out of my mouth, then you have Eddings. Well, I'm still talking about Eddings. I'm sorry. My brain. Eddings does all this great character interaction, but he's very nondescript on the physical action. A lot of the fights just are, you know, half a paragraph, where one group of characters
The thrill of the hunt.
militarily
payment.
just superior to their opponents, run them down. Like, literally run them down on horses. It happens a lot in the Elenium where you're dealing with a group of holy knights. You know what? We're going to make this episode longer and do another one. In the Elenium, you're dealing with a group of holy knights. That's really good. We're going to go get that. On horseback, in plate mail, right? And it's like, okay, that's cool. Will you not work with the knight? Yeah. Figured. So there are these men who are on horseback in like plate mail, and a big enemy they deal with ends up being like this otherworldly monster. But the monster fights them by taking control of vast amount of people through like a parasitic venomous mind control. But the problem is the people they're fighting are mind-controlled, lethargic villagers who just have, like, whatever weapon they manage to find in their hand, sort of just running at them in a blank trance. And when you put that up against a squadron of trained, middle-aged, like, you know, in their prime sort of men, like, in the prime of their life, 30 to 40-year-old men on horseback with full plate mail.
The fiends must be driven back.
You're
and what
just
better place
gonna
to begin
die.
than the seat of our noble line.
And they do, to the point where he doesn't even bother describing those fights. He will literally just say that, you know, in 2 lines out, they ran them down, everybody died,
His
no
efficacy
one got hurt.
unwitnessed by his own eyes.
And then occasionally a fight will end up being, you know, 2 paragraphs. Because during the fight, a group of the enemies broke off from the main herd to attack the feeble women and children in the back and behind the group of knights. So a few of the knights just sort of change their direction and run those enemies down. And maybe someone gets a little hurt in the process. I love Eddings. I love his characters. I love his worlds. He's very thorough about what he does, especially when it comes to religion and politics. I wish I could write religion and politics the way he does. But he doesn't do action. Alright, so we want to uppercut this guy. No, we want to mark for death. He doesn't do action all that well, in my opinion. I still love his books. I still read them all the time. It still pains me that he's dead and we'll never see anything else from him. It still pains me that his brilliant characters have never been on screen in a movie. But then you have R.A. Salvatore, and R.A. Salvatore makes characters who sometimes just sort of fill the slot of something, it feels. Their interactions aren't always taken down. It's more like 2 very small paragraphs about them
Continue the onslaught.
traveling for
Destroy
a very long
them
time.
all.
And then 2 brilliant pages of a fight scene. And everything is perfectly choreographed. There's this romance to a Salvatore fight scene, in my opinion. It is a dance, and it is
Their
beautiful.
formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And that's one thing I love. Yeah, we're gonna give this to him. About Salvatore, is that he, like, if you go to read Salvatore, and I recommend you should, and you're reading one of his passages with Drizzt, whatever, D-R-I-Z-Z-T, and Drizzt is fighting something like 1v1 in the snow, Like, everything is perfect. There's this beautiful choreograph to the character's motions, the rolling of his swords, his scimitars in his hands, how he turns his ankles to pivot the weight to counterbalance an attack. Everything about a fight scene in a Salvatore book is... oh, I love it. And I think that over time, I've sort of become a mixture of both, where this isn't really that great, where I have this sort of character interactions
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
that drive the story. The dialogue drives the story, and the cute little ways characters interact are meant to pull you into a relationship. You're supposed to look at these two characters, see them interacting, and go, oh, alright, this is a funny piece of dialogue, I'm gonna laugh at it. Or, oh my god, that was such a good joke. Or, wow, I can't believe he said that, he must really mean it. Stuff like that. How the fuck do you miss with a
Great
grenade
is
in
the
a
weapon
hallway?
that cuts on its own.
But yeah, but then when I get into, like, the actions of a character, to describe something about them or a fight, I get super wordy. And the fights sort of become drawn out, choreographed dances. And I hope my style works. I don't know, I'm not published yet. Well, that's not entirely true. I have some short stories self-published on Amazon. They don't sell that great because, I mean, I'm nobody, right? Like, I'm just a person posting things on Amazon to sell. I don't have advertising or anything like that. Now, it's not to say that I'm not throwing, like, links out there, but at the same time, it's very hard to self-publish, in my opinion, without some sort of company backing you for advertisements. And that's alright. The short stories are just there as sort of like something to do that I love whenever I need a break from working on my novel. Please stun him. Aw, shit. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. Actually, we can play grenade the two of these. I forgot this guy was taking up too much space. We are just rolling light on them, by the way. This is awesome. But yeah, when it comes to my own style, I like to think that, yeah, I get a little wordy when it comes to action. But it's for a purpose. It's to pull you into the story more.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
That is a disgusting corpse. But, you know, that's just stuff with me. I've been writing a lot lately.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
And because I'm trying to get this book published, I have a few agents who might be interested in the book that I'm looking at sending it to. As soon as it's finished. Shit, we have to go this way. Oh, shit, we do have to go this way. We might have to double back. This is bad. Eat. Alright, that healed us a little bit.
Wealth beyond measure.
And I really want to make
awarded
this
to the brave
my
and the
career.
foolhardy alike.
Like, this isn't something I'm doing for fun.
The match
It's
is struck.
every
blazing
day at a
star
set
is
time. I
born.
sit at my computer, put my headphones on to cancel out, you know, other sounds,
Another
noise
one
canceling
falls.
headphones. And I sit there and I write. And if I can't find the start to the next sentence or the name of that chapter, I just sit there and I focus till I find the word. Right? Like, I don't just start, well, I guess I'll go to Facebook for a little while. I am wholly dedicated
Press
to making
this
this a
advantage.
career.
Give them no quarter.
And I really want it to work.
To the pit.
But, I mean, I don't know if people want to read what I have to write. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. We're going to keep healing because our guys are pretty low. If we can stun him, that would be amazing because it'll give us another turn of healing. Thank you.
The light. The promise of safety.
Slowly.
Shit.
Gently.
Never mind, you took too much blade.
This is how a life is taken.
Alright. Yeah, we do have to do the whole fucking place. Let's hope they don't get too hungry. Sorry about ranting there and just like going off. It's just, I find one of the best ways to motivate oneself to write fuck yes. I didn't know that was a thing. I'm glad I did it. Is to read. Like, to go back on the original tangent I completely stopped talking about. Because I shocked myself with something in the game. I find one of the best motivations to writing is to read. So what I do is I pick up a David Eddings book and I'll read it. And I'll look at the characters and I'll look at the flow and just, it gets you in a creative mind, I think. At least it does for me. I think one of the best things to do when you're trying to write is to read. This is Garbaggio. You're gonna battlefield medicine. This guy, get rid of his bleed. You're gonna mark. No, you're gonna concussion grenade this guy. And you're gonna bandage yourself. And look, all the bleed's gone. I do hate that he resisted that. And, I mean, that's just sort of like where I'm at in life. I don't know if people watching this rightly care about me going on that sort of tangent, but I mean, I'm working on it. I have a book that I really like that I'm working on.
The bigger
And
the
again,
beast,
I'm writing a lot.
the greater the
It's
glory.
going to be a large book, and that has intimidated a lot of companions of mine when I've brought it up to them. They're like,
Handsome
yeah, a
reward
book that big.
for a task well performed.
Are you sure people are going to read their way through it? And I'm like, I mean, I hope so. You get a shift quick, don't you? Yep. Alright. I mean, I don't think a long book is bad. Like, again, people read Game of Thrones, people read Lord of the Rings. But, and I feel there has been a movement towards easier reading. Like, reading that isn't as big. And I'm like, that's cool and all. What is your disarm rate? Trap 60? Trap 40. Alright, this guy. I really didn't want that to happen because I wanted to use that food to heal before the final fight.
The way is lit.
Alright,
The path
we
is
know
clear.
this is a battle room because
We
it's the last
require
room to
only the
explore,
strength to
and we
follow it.
haven't completed our quest yet. Oh, alright. This is... Alright, and we got the surprise. This should be fun.
Be gone,
Yeah.
fiend.
Spiders don't have much health. Let's heal this guy. Crit. That's also good. That's a little obnoxious because it means at least one of them is going to live. But we'll uppercut a spider any day of the week. We'll heal a little more. Why not?
Executed with impunity.
And that's how you end the mission, too. That is... we're gonna open this. Oh, well, open it. Oh, whatever. Alright, we did 2 missions. The video did end up being about 35 minutes. Which is longer than the others. I know. But, I mean, I hope people had fun and people... Wow, that's really good. That's annoying, but we'll take it. A lot of those sort of diseases or penalties limit how your character releases stress.
Wild merriment.
Desperate
jubilation.
He's a little stressed, actually. I'm going to actually remove... No, I'm not. Because of course it is. So you know what we're actually going to do? We're going to go to the sanitarium. Oh wow, that's way worse than flagellant. We're gonna get rid of that. Let's see if we can upgrade our blacksmith. I don't think we can. No, we need deeds. We need deeds. Occult? No, but we have 2 more classes that we haven't had before.
The raw strength
so we are going to pick them up. Oh my god, I didn't rename these guys.
The secrets of 100 campaigns.
A bounty hunter. Boba? What are you? A nervous stab? An antiquarian. I've never seen this before, so let me actually take a look here. Protect me. +5 dodge, +20% per force guard by ally. Oh, so we can make an ally protect him. He can give someone to the back row dodge. Flash powder. It applies a damage mod of -100% and -5 accuracy. That's crazy cool. Stab, festering vapors, applies blight. Get down, moves the character back 1 space, and gives this guy dodge and speed. And a heal that's guaranteed to heal a certain amount. This guy is actually really cool. Oh, he's sort of like a sensor wielding guy. Okay, okay. Don't matter. We did not rename the man-at-arms. Oh, the man-at-arms. What a name. What name should we go with? The grizzled old warrior. I'm just looking around my room for a good book to find. You know what? Why not? He has command that is awesome. He has retribution, which is good. Crush is solid. This is really good. Yeah, this is awesome. We just picked up some great people. However, our roster is full. So we need to get more deeds so I can upgrade the barracks. Because right now, we're never going to be able to take the A-bomb with anyone except the alchemist. Alright, so there we go. When we come back next time, we'll be doing another mission. I want to thank everyone for listening to me ramble about fantasy novels and writers for the past 40 minutes. And I hope to see you next time.